I remember one night, I was seeing like all these people say like, I close this account, I close this account, and I hadn't closed an account. There's something in me that's like competitive, right? Like not in a bad way, like, but almost like that's motivating to me. It's like this person does it, this person does it. Like, Yoladi, you can do this. I remember I got on the Facebook page and I just wrote on there, I'm struggling tonight. Like I feel super discouraged. Can you guys like help me? And the amount of comments and the people that were like sending me DMs, writing me back, right? I think John texted me and was just like, let's talk, right? Like the support was huge in those moments because as you're walking through the feed and you're seeing all these success stories, in those comments, you're not seeing what got them there, right? In terms of what automation has done, again, like at any point I can text, I can get on the Facebook, ask a question, right? And there's always somebody there. That's the difference between, doing this on your own versus having a support team. It's huge. And this isn't something I plan on stopping. This is going to follow me forever. And slowly but surely, I'm going to gain accounts and I'm going to be able to be financially free.
Guys, another weekly training today. My name is Paul Alex, founder of merchantautomation.com. How are you guys doing today? Man, it is a wonderful week. Finally heading back home after a long week and traveling for business purposes, guys. And man, just leveling up here, guys. Okay, guys. So we are going to be doing a client success testimonial right now. This is as real as it gets, guys. Live on Facebook, and then after, usually we get 1,000 views the next day because people are in traffic, they're working, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and bring on our special guest.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm hanging in there.
Good.
I'm hanging in there.
Good.
The time changes for me has been insane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And tomorrow I have to fly back home to Miami to go see my mom because she's flying in tomorrow night. So
where are you at right now?
I'm in Idaho.
Okay.
Out of all places, I'm in Idaho,
Yeah.
Boise, right? It's just like weird, but yeah. So this is where my mentor lives. This is where his corporation's at. So everybody literally flies in here on a quarterly basis.
Okay.
And then we have like an awesome 2 to 3 day event where everybody speaks and like just gives updates on like life and then like what's going on, right?
Very
and
cool.
it's cool. And it's cool because we essentially we're doing what we're doing right now, but we're just doing it live. That's it. But for the audience that's watching right now, go ahead and do your intro. Let them know who you are, which is very important. And then what you're excited about for this interview.
Awesome. So, hi, you guys. I don't know how many people are watching. I was trying to watch before, but it's kind of weird now that I'm on, so I'm not going to look at this screen over here. But my name is Yoladi, and I'm super excited to share with you guys kind of my journey. I started merchant services end of November to December. I call myself a single mom, but realistically, I'm getting married next week, so I won't be a single mom anymore. But yeah, I have a 5-year-old, and we had been thinking just for a little while, kind of just praying about jumping into this, and it's been a whirlwind. I've learned a lot, so I'm super excited to share with you guys kind of how we started, what we've experienced, right, our why, and pretty much everything that, Alex shared, or Paul. I do this all the time. I call you Alex, and I'm sure it happens to you 24/7, and I'm so sorry, but Paul, Alex, Paul, if I call him Alex, sorry. But everything that he was saying, just kind of giving you my, my experience thus far. So pumped to be here.
No, I love that. And don't worry.
Don't worry.
You can call me Paul. You can call me Alex. There's no wrong answer. Okay. It's just, guys. So if you guys didn't know, my full name isn't 2 first names. And I always joke about that. But the thing is, for the online space, I just try to make it as simple as possible. Right? If I was to realistically put my entire
full name,
guys, I'm telling you right now, I got the alphabet as a name. Like you should see.
I feel like I'm super specific with names too, because my name is Yoladi, and it's I get called Yolanda, all these things. So I try to be so like honorable to people's names, but I will tell you that I've had conversations about you just with other people, and I'm like, Alex, I mean Paul.
No worries. No, trust me, I have tough skin. So at the end of the day, I've heard it all. Heard it all. But Yoladi, so tell us. We know you have a 5-year-old. You're about to get married. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
That's huge,
Thanks.
huge. And man, that's exciting. Good time.
Yeah.
So Yoladi, tell us about your why. What was your reason to even jump into this?
Yeah. So I'll just be super transparent. My fiance started a business last year. And obviously, we went with Square, right? And so when he started to make a little bit of money, I was like, okay, let's try to figure out, how we can cut so that we can see more profit. Um, I had followed you, I think, I don't remember when, but I had followed you and I liked a lot of the stuff that you were posting, not so much about like merchant services or ATMs, but saving money, right? Like if you would just cut back on that, like, look what I have lifestyle and really save, you can invest somewhere. So after a while, like I said, I prayed a lot about it. I think I reached out to you first before I spoke with Brandon. But at first it was more like, let's see what we can do for our business. But then when I started to kind of get into it, I was like, wait, like this can not only help us as small business owners, but we can not only meet other business owners, right? And kind of just serve within the community and get to know their business. They can get to know our business. So like free marketing. But then obviously the cash discount program and how that can work not only for our business, but I mean, everything kind of just started to fall into place. And I was like, we would be dumb to not try this. So that's kind of what happened. But on the more personal side, I have one 5-year-old and then my fiance has 2 kids. So there's 3 of them all together. And we want to have more. So that is a huge thing for us too. Just planning for the future, wanting to buy a property for each kid to leave behind. So that's, yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of what my why is, both professional and personal.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Man, I could totally resonate with that. I mean,
Hmm.
your why has a lot to do with family. I think that's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
If it, to be totally transparent with you and then everybody else watching, if it wasn't for seeing my mother
Hmm.
work like 15, 18-hour days,
Yeah.
because essentially she was also a single mother.
Yeah.
And then my stepfather came into play. I
Yeah.
mean, been the best thing since sliced bread. I always tell people like he's been awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, but when my mother was single and I would have to, stay at home as a little kid by
Hmm.
myself,
Yeah.
just because we couldn't afford, childcare and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So essentially I saw how hard my mom worked.
Yeah.
So that's like totally relatable, everything that you're saying.
Hmm.
Um, Okay. So within merchant services, how did it all start? Like the actual journey. So you spoke to one of our consultants.
I
He's
did.
he's now one of our sales managers, Brandon Pham. Helped a ton of people, very knowledgeable. He's in the business himself. And from talking to Brandon to where you're at right now,
Mhm.
why don't you just tell us about your journey?
Yeah. So Brandon reached out to me and we scheduled a call. And it was kind of just that intro call, right? Like letting us know, asking questions. One thing that Brandon didn't know about me was that I came with like a list of questions. So I apologize at the beginning. I was like, look, this is something that I'm really serious about, but I'm going to have a lot of questions. And I think he appreciated it. But we met the first time. He kind of just gave me the whole rundown. I asked my questions. And then after that, we scheduled a second call. One of the things I mean, just personally and professionally, I liked how on top of it he was. He was very not super persistent, but just very like, I mean, when he said we were going to meet at this time, he did. I don't like waiting. If I have a time, like, honor my time, I'll honor yours type deal. So no, it just, everything was super seamless. He answered questions. He actually even asked me like, can I meet Travis? Can I meet your fiance? Right? Like included him in it too, wanted it to be an us decision. And that's huge for me too, because again, family, making sure that everybody is okay and in the know about what's going on, the investment, all of it. Like, so I really, really liked that. Then after that, I think I might have taken a day or two to get back to him. And it wasn't so much anything outside of my fear. Like it wasn't, I had all in my mind, I was like, if I'm researching this, like if I'm here, if I'm actually entertaining this conversation with him, I'm already sold. I'm just afraid now. So if you're in this chat, like consider that. Consider the fact that you're already thinking outside the box for your family or for yourself, and understand that like fear and just being afraid and having a little like just have not having that much confidence initially when you're getting into something new is super normal. But if you really look down in the root of it, you're here because there's something that's like brewing and itching you to kind of go outside of the box, go outside of that 9 to 5, you know? So after that, we met again, and I had told my fiance, I was like, I'm going to trigger pull. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm like, we have to do this. And in the end, for me, you know, I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I work from home. And interestingly enough, I feel like I work harder from home than I did in the corporate world because you never really go home because you have your office right here. So it was one of those things where I was like, I don't want to say I have the time, but I pretty much can make my own schedule. So I would just be dumb to not try this. And in the end, the way that I see it, right? And I know that my perception might be different than others, but money can always be made, right? So the initial investment for me was kind of like, oh, okay, like I don't know the territory that I'm getting. And I'm just going to be transparent about it because these are just real true feelings, you know? But at the same time, I was like, I'm always going to wonder if I don't do this, I'm going to wonder what I could have like made of it. Right. And so I got to get in now. So then after that, we met again, we met 3 times, and we just signed up. And then not long after that, I think it might've been a week, maybe 2 weeks, the ball started rolling, right? Like I started to get, notifications and usernames and all these things. And then the trainings, right? So everything just in terms of kind of what was spoken to me about how supportive they would be, or you guys would be, that people would have my back, that they would, you know, interact with me, you know, being able to reach John, like all of it was true. Like it wasn't just this like scheme of, hey, we're going to help you. And then as soon as you jump in, it's all hands off. Like it's not, that's not how it is. So yeah, that's kind of just the beginning all the way up until, and you just learn a lot. You know, you have to really invest your time. You have to really like just try, just really want to learn. And then, you know, as you kind of move on in the journey, you just pick up friends. Like I've made friends that are, you know, that can help me, that have been going through the same things as me. So I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I'm trying.
No, you are, and you're doing perfect
Good.
because I'm a thinker. So
Yeah.
I'm a thinker. So I'm analyzing everything that you're saying, and I mean, like, sorry to cut you off,
No, you're
but the first thing I wanna actually pick your brain on, and I,
sure.
I think a lot of people can actually relate on this is one sentence you said. You said you were already basically sold on the idea.
Hmm.
Like you're already on the call.
Yep.
You're already having several calls with Brandon.
Yep.
Okay. Who, if you guys don't know who Brandon is, if you're just tuning in, Brandon Pham is our sales manager here at Merchant Automation. So at that time, I think he was a consultant. But so you met with Brandon, you liked everything that he was talking about, but there was one thing in the back of your mind that
Hmm.
wasn't allowing you to move forward. Would you say that's just more building trust
Yep.
with you
100%.
and Brandon, or trust within you and the program?
It wasn't Brandon. It was, Yoladi, can you do this? Yoladi, like, are you
Mm.
actually going to be able to be successful at it? They're telling you that they're going to have your back. They're going to help you, right? Like they're, you know, and so it was more of, it was confidence, right? Like I've never done this before. I'm not a salesperson. I love to talk, right? Like I can sell ice to an Eskimo in my opinion, because I'm like, if I love it, like I will let you know about it. Right. And if I don't like it, you're going to know that too. So because of everything that I was learning and hearing, I was sold on it. I was like, Travis, we're doing this for the business. Like we're going to get, you know, we're going to make this work for us and others. But it was me in front of me, and having to just like and you know, another thing too that I thought of was, if it makes you uncomfortable, you have to go, because that's how you grow, right? Like the comfort of waking up every single morning and logging in, like, okay, yeah, that's great. I can make money from my computer and be at home. But the challenge for me is where I see the growth. And that's been historically in my life, both personally and professionally. So I was in my own way. And again, it was fear. And, you know, one of the conversations that I had with my fiance, he was like, you can, I mean, and it was something just as simple as like, you can do this. Like you have it, like you have that type of personality, extroverted type, you can do it. Right. And hearing that from him, he saw in me what at that moment I couldn't see in myself. And so because I was interested, I had to just get to the place where I was like, okay, well, I better figure out how to do it because I'm going to do it. So, yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. And guys, if you guys are watching this right now, how powerful is it for
Mm,
every single one of you guys? If you guys have a spouse, you guys have somebody who loves you, you got family, you got a friend, anyone to
yeah.
support you and your vision. I think that's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Everybody, go ahead and comment Travis. That's going to be
Ah,
Travis. Go ahead and comment Travis down in the comments below. I love it. Power couple right there. We should have Travis on here too.
I
You know,
know.
I always like hearing the perspective of like couples and like one
Yeah.
was just like all in and the other one's just like more of like stable and they're just like,
Yeah.
I just like the
We're
comfort.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good dynamic.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, my next question for you.
Mhm.
And I always like to bring this question because there's always overthinkers here.
Mhm.
Always overthinkers. I,
Yeah.
I was I was one for many years.
Me.
And a lot of my friends, they're still overthinkers. But what would you say was the hardest portion after you signed up
Yeah.
and to actually go ahead and say, wow, like I could really do this now?
Mhm. Yeah, so I think the hardest part, again, and I hate to answer the question with the same thing, was my confidence, right? So I like got the training, I watched everything, I was on the lives, right? Like I was doing YouTube trainings like outside of automation just to see if I could get like someone else's strategy. But it was that like I was good picking up the phone, calling, right? A lot of people would hang up, that's fine. But not getting like offended or walking into places was a huge like I was like, all right, like I'm just gonna do this. And I don't want to be that annoying person that comes in and talks to people. But those were probably the moments for me that I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like I just feel awkward. I feel weird going in and talking to people. I don't want them to think that I'm trying to, sell them something that's not good for them. And I remember distinctly having a conversation with John, and he was straight with me. He was like, you have to believe in what you're trying to do. You cannot just walk into places and think like, I really want to close this account so that I can have residuals. Like you have to literally walk in there and like just I know that this is going to work for your business. Be super confident in that. And in the end, if they say no, it's literally their loss. So I think just like getting my mind into a place where it's like a no isn't like it's not personal. It's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like at any point, they can either call you back, come back, or the next person will say yes. So I think getting through those things. And again, I am an overthinker. Like I will overthink things. I will leave a client meeting and I'll get in my car and I'll think about how I could have said something different, or like maybe that was why they said no, Yoladi. Like I'll get on myself. And I think just moving past those like blocks in my own mind was the hardest part. But once I got past that, and it's just like, okay, like this specific account may take 6 months, and another one might take 2 weeks, right? Getting yourself to a place where you realize that this isn't going to happen automatically. You're going to have to learn. You're going to get more no's than you get yeses at the beginning, right? And that's okay. Once you get past that, it's like this is easy. This is fun. So yeah.
Love it. I love
Yeah.
it. And what would you say is the needle mover for you in the program out of everything? Is it the community? Is it John? Is it the sales team? Is it the customer service? Is it
Yeah.
the like learning the tech? Like, what do you like the most in the program?
I think there's a lot of things for me, but specifically, it is the community because I remember one night I was seeing like all these people say like I close this account, and I hadn't closed an account. And so there's something in me that's like competitive, right? Like not in a bad way, like, but almost like that's motivating to me. It's like this person does it, this person does it. Like, Yoladi, you can do this, right? So I think seeing all of those success stories, I remember I got on the Facebook page and I just wrote on there, I'm struggling tonight. Like I feel super discouraged. Can you guys like help me? And the amount of comments and the people that were like sending me DMs, writing me back, right? I think John texted me and was just like, let's talk, right? Like the support was huge in those moments because as you're walking through the feed and you're seeing all these success stories, in those comments, you're not seeing what got them there, right? So as you're honest and vulnerable, even in moments, and you're able to say, like, I'm struggling right now, people then will comment back or will tell you, hey, like it wasn't always like I wasn't always closing accounts like this easy.
Yeah.
So the community is huge. that competition side where you're like, you can do this, Yoladi, you see all these other people doing it. But then also when you have moments of just being straight up discouraged, they're there. People are there, you know? So that for me is probably the sharpest needle mover.
Good, good. I love that, guys. So community is everything, guys. Teamwork is everything. Building your tribe is everything. And I always tell people, well, how are you able to build successful businesses?
Mm-hmm.
And you really have to look at your environment.
Yeah.
You really have to look at your environment. Look how powerful. And there's something that you had said continuously throughout this interview.
Mm-hmm.
And number one, you had people that actually helped you and they impact you and they encouraged you.
Yeah.
For a lot of us, we actually need that.
Yeah.
We need that as humans. We need that feedback.
Yeah.
And just like you, I'm very competitive as well.
Yeah.
I would always say, like, well, if those people can do it, why can't I do it?
Yeah.
What makes them special?
Right.
You know? So no, I love that. I love that. Made entrepreneur. Love it.
Love it.
Okay. So what advice would you tell anyone, beginner, veteran, anyone that's actually looking into either starting with merchant services or looking into starting with us at Merchant Automation?
Honestly, so I'm a prayer, right? Like I pray about everything. I pray about everything. So if that's something that you do, right? Like if if you invite prayer, pray about it, because I truthfully believe that God will direct you in the way that you should go. And why wouldn't, and again, I'm only speaking for, for myself and my faith, but why wouldn't God why wouldn't God input into your heart, hey, like there's other opportunity, right? Like I truly believe this was a godsend. I had never known anything about it until we became business owners. So then of course, right at that time, this starts to hit my feed, right? Like I'm a believer in all of that. And so first pray about it, but also think 10 years from now, right? Like the way I like to think about this, and this is with fitness, this is with like decisions, right? Like I'm always thinking like about my kids, right? About my son and my family, but I'm 34. Is 44-year-old Yoladi going to be proud of 34-year-old Yoladi? Like, I'm living for older me. Right. And so I don't ever, and again, I say that with like fitness, even like I work out, I go to the gym because I do want to look good now. But at the same time, I want to be healthy. I don't want 44, 54, 64-year-old Yoladi to be struggling with her health because 34-year-old Yoladi was lazy. Right. So I think for me, it's think 10 years from now, where do you want to be? And what do you need to do today to make sure that that person is super happy with who you are? So again, I'll just reiterate, for me, it was more like, I'm here. I'm for whatever reason, I could be doing anything else, but I'm here on this live right now and I'm listening to somebody else's conversation with Paul. Why? Because you know that there's something bigger, right? And so again, with me, the investment, all of that, like, of course, it's something to consider, but at the same time, you cannot make money unless you spend it. And that, it sounds super cliche. But one of the other things too, I wanted to touch on specifically was that investment keeps you accountable. And unlike all of these other like pyramid schemes that we see everywhere, right? There's no accountability because you're not really putting forth a lot, right? So that piece of it is huge. But at the same time, you have to think like, I'm not just going to invest in something and then just say bow out. Like it forces you to work hard. It challenges you. And ultimately you grow and gain the confidence because you're now, I don't want to say bound to it, but you are, right? So I don't regret anything. I really don't. There have been accounts where I'm still like trying to work on accounts that I started back in December. I'm okay with that now, right? I think I used to get kind of pissy, like why aren't they signing? But it's the journey for me. And in terms of what automation has done, again, like at any point I can text, I can get on the Facebook, ask a question, right? And there's always somebody there. That's the difference between, doing this on your own without people and kind of just going, and learning on your own versus having a support team. It's huge when it comes to this. And so again, I feel super blessed. I'm super excited. And this is something now that I think of like, okay, I've closed these accounts and this isn't something I plan on stopping. Right? Like this is it. I mean, as I meet business owners, right? I'm going to talk about this. This is going to follow me forever. And slowly but surely, I'm going to gain accounts and I'm going to be able to be financially free. So that's how I see it.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're such a spokesperson. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Thank you.
No, Yoladi. So, all right. very last question.
Okay.
That was going to be my last question, but here's a last question.
Okay.
So let's say somebody right now
Mhm.
is in the position that you were initially back in December when you were talking to Brandon, you were talking to consulting here in Merchant Automation.
Yeah.
They've talked probably several times in the DMs on Zoom and all that jazz. And they have that one little voice in their head saying, like, hey, I don't know. I want to do it. I love it. I believe in it, but there's still something I don't know.
Yeah.
What would you tell them? Because you did it. You went for it. You were like, hey, I'm gonna stop listening to you. Let's go.
Yeah. Can I be blunt?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the longer you wait, right, the more opportunities somebody else has. And I'm not saying that like everybody doesn't want to win. But when I sat there, I was like, I need to jump in now. Like, I'm not going to just wait a month, 2 months, 6 months. Like, I need to start doing this now because it's going to take me time, right? It's going to take me time to learn. It's going to take me time to get the confidence, right? For me, it's take the leap of faith. In the end, money can be made, right? And so again, I'm all about self-growth, confidence. Just do it. Like, stop waiting. You're here for a reason. You're interested for a reason. Your wheels are spinning, right? Hit the gas. Like, just do it.
Love that. And
Yeah.
perfect action for
Yeah.
sure. I love it. I resonate with you so much. Everybody says it completely different as far as entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
And I feel like the most successful entrepreneurs, they do have a self-belief inside of them.
Yeah.
That no one else can see.
Right.
And you definitely when you talk, you definitely show it, and that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So also take it from me because I'm a speaker.
I love it.
Think about speaking. You might motivate folks. You might be that one game changer in merchant services that, hey, people are paying you to go to conferences to motivate either other beginner entrepreneurs or women entrepreneurs or whatever you want.
Yeah.
And hey, you're the needle mover, right?
Love
So
that. I've been told
we need people
so
like
long. I mean, literally in kindergarten, I got the social butterfly award but I truly believe that when Yoladi believes in something, she will talk about it. And I don't even want to call it like sell it. Like, if it works for me, I want it to work for you. Right. And so but thank you. I appreciate that.
No, of course you're Yoladi.
Yeah.
I call it how I see it. Straight
Thank,
shooter. That's it.
thank you.
But okay, guys, that was Yoladi, client success student right here from Merchant Automation. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and actually message Yoladi, she is part of this group. And this is why I love doing this, guys. And Yoladi, I apologize about this.
No, it's good.
But you're gonna get probably your DMs flooded with just questions
okay.
and people, and they'll be like, Yoladi, like, how many accounts you have, how much money, all that stuff. I never want to put people's business out there.
Okay.
And essentially, like, to me, in business, it's more about, number one, the why.
Yeah.
Number two, it's more about the journey that you're going through, because that's the most important.
Mm-hmm.
If you just focus on the money, but your mindset is not correct,
right.
you're not going to perform.
That's right.
No matter what stage you're at. And I always tell people that. So guys, if you guys want to ask Yoladi any questions that we didn't ask here during this interview, because it's only an hour and it's already about to be an hour.
Yeah.
Go ahead and shoot her a DM, Yoladi. And then also, where can people find you? You want to drop down your social media handles? Go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah. I can post it here on the comments, but I have Instagram. Obviously, I'm on Facebook. So you guys, I was commenting in the chat too. So if you want to follow me there, you can. But my Instagram is It's Yoladi. So it's just ITSYOLADI. That's my handle on Instagram, and I'll add it to the comments. So
perfect. Thank you, Yoladi. I will message you after this live training, and then we'll definitely chat. I'm interested in a couple things you said.
Awesome.
For sure.
Thank
Have a
you
great night. Tell Travis I said hello. Congratulations on your guys' wedding. That is remarkable. I love it. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys, that was phenomenal, right? See, I love that. It's about building the community. It's about the ripple effect. It's about how we can go ahead and change other people's life. So guess what? They could change everybody else's in life, and then it's a better world, guys. At the end of the day, that's what fulfillment comes into, okay? It's not just about the money. The money's going to come. I'm a big believer in karma, okay? So if you do good business, you treat people right, you help them elevate their mind so they could go ahead and jumpstart in a business, especially because life is short. Guess what? You're unstoppable, okay? So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and actually wrap up the rest of this presentation, and then we're going to go into how you guys can actually take advantage of this one simple strategy that Yoladi has been taken advantage of since December, and the over 420 clients that we actually have inside of our program.